What's the most insulting gift you've ever received? Serious. When I hadn't lost all my baby weight 6 months after childbirth, my mother-in-law gave me a plastic pig magnet for the refrigerator. It oinked every time you opened the door. Print out an unflattering picture of her and use that magnet to hold it up on the fridge. My mom always buys me clothes, more specifically shirts from Target or Goodwill, for every gift, even though I tell her I have too many clothes. I've been trying to get rid of clothes. I don't want or need any more clothes. B. She always buys me sizes XL and up even though I'm a comfortable SM. And then when I tell her it's too big, she always says, "Shocked, I thought it would fit," and occasionally even add that she thought I was chubbier than that. When I was 12, my parents gave me a snow shovel as a Christmas gift. One of my chores was shoveling the driveway and I used to complain that our old shovel was bent and rusted. Big mistake. AWW. Dang. I had the same experience kinda. My parents bought me a youth snow shovel to shovel off our huge decks. I was like 10 years girl when they got it, but it actually ended up being a more efficient shovel all around, easier to handle, and was used by the whole family for all the property, including the driveways. Then they broke it. B. My now estranged father offered to take me clothes shopping for my birthday. We went to an outlet store and I proceeded to have fun the way a 20-something girl has fun shopping for clothes, while he sulked in a corner the whole time. The next day, at my party with our whole family, he gave me a birthday card in which he referred to me as a bee and a princess, in reference to how he thought I acted while on the shopping trip that he suggested in the first place. Glad to see the now estranged bit. You don't deserve it. My now ex-husband gave me a book called 100 Nights of Great Sex. It was a book of fun things to spice up your sex life, but he wouldn't do even one of them, and wasn't interested in having sex with me more than once or twice a month. I'm not sure if he intended it as an insult, but it felt like he was saying, "You want to get laid so bad? Here's another 100 ways to get rejected." That's just bizarre lol. 1 month after I started growing a beard, a wide variety of shavers for Christmas, one from each family member, 2 electric ones, a lot of manual ones, razors, and other stuff. I could just open shaving museum with all this collection, knowing that I'll never get the chance to use them. When I was 16, my dad insisted on me paying $1,000 a month rent. After a while I moved out BC. I found cheaper rent. For my birthday he sent me a card that said, "You don't owe me rent for the time you have been gone," with a happy face on it. Felt like a slap in the face. Literally nothing. One year the only thing I got at my dad's family Christmas was a Bop It. Meanwhile my cousins each got like 6 gifts each and I had to watch them open them and try not to cry. I was like 8. The family got chewed out by my grandmother afterwards and things got better afterwards. I'm glad your grandmother had the sense to do that. My mom's family used to do a secret Santa every Christmas. The year after my parents got divorced, my aunt and uncle got me and my brother. We got 2 of their kids. They stopped at a gas station on the way down and bought us like gas station novelty crap. Like the first things they saw, they wrapped them in the bags they came in along with the receipts, and basically just tossed them at us when it was our turn. It was dead silent and profoundly awkward. Most of my mom's family really dislikes this part of the family, and there was a significant amount of shade thrown non-verbally, so we took it in stride because we aren't total sacks of crap, and proceeded to give their kids the gifts we got them. When this was met with significantly less awkward tension, which my aunt and uncle noticed, and couldn't suffer, so they said, and I quote, "Well, they're Jewish so they don't even celebrate this holiday, and they aren't even really a part of the family anymore, so why would we spend any money on their gifts?" There was a gift minimum and maximum at like $20. The fun was finding a funny, interesting gift. No one was expected to get anyone something crazy. We're Irish Catholic. There are like 30 of us. Later they tried to say they knew we cheap out on the gifts and that's why they did it. Then they made their kids cry by making them leave what we'd gotten them at my grandmother's. So we don't do that anymore and they get invited to like one family event per year, which is my grandmother's birthday. Poor kids, it's a shame they have to suffer because of their parents. My dad's third wife got me a book about manners. I used it to level her coffee table the same day. She re-gifted it to me at least 5 other times. I found a way to put it back in her house every time. A guy once thought he could ask me out by giving me money, like just a bunch of random bills, probably about $15 in total. He said it was better than a gift card. I said no to him asking me out. I feel like if you're gonna bribe someone into going on a date with you, the bribe should at least be higher. $15 is just insulting. When I was in high school, my mom got me a shirt that made fun of my ADD. It referenced chickens. She then proceeded to buy chicken related things for the next few years, and to this day points out anything related to chickens like it's some kind of inside joke. It didn't really bother me at first, but after nearly a decade now it honestly hurts my feelings. Is it the people say that I have ADHD, but they don't understand? Oh look, a chicken. I started working evenings, so my husband started having to make dinners. My mill got me a magnet for the fridge that said I'm too pretty to cook. Frick that bee. Oh man, my sister is the queen of horrible gifts. From her, I've gotten used hiking boots, one size too small, missing a shoelace, I don't hike, old Smurf stuffed animal, used, missing an eye because I like Smurfs, I don't. She bragged she washed it first since she got it at a Goodwill. A basket of soap and shampoo samples from various hotels she had visited. Her old sewing basket since she bought herself a new one. A weird random box mailed to me with old Happy Meal toys and a broken ornament and an old bookmark. A care package mailed to me with muffins she had made that were obviously a mistake recipe. They tasted horrid, like she used salt instead of sugar. And the kicker, our dad died in April right before my college graduation in May. When we divided up his things, she took his old beat up briefcase that was permanently locked. We didn't know the combination. A month later she gave it to me as my graduation gift. To answer the questions that are forthcoming, I have no idea why she does this. It's caused me to have great distance from her. We basically don't talk or see each other. We occasionally text as she has 2 boys who are my only nephews. We don't live in the same state. We are both now in our 40s, and yes, every year for Christmas and my birthday, I get another package of stupid useless crap from her. I'm sorry, but picturing some of these gifts made me giggle. I honestly don't know anyone who would give those things as gifts, nor anyone who would want to receive them, so it's kind of funny. For Christmas, I usually just gave my parents a list of what size I wore for everything. One Christmas, they got me only one thing, a 2-pack sports bras in XL. I wrote small medium. I cried. I tried it on and saw it basically dangling off me and cried again. I was 14, I think. I've struggled with an eating disorder a good majority of my teenage years, so to think that my parents thought I wore an XL and didn't pay any mind believe my size chart hurt me a lot. They said it was just because I have big boobs and that I was being ungrateful. I might have been at the time, but it was the only thing they got me for Christmas that year, and it could have been returned and didn't fit. So I practically got nothing for Christmas but to cry for hours. Didn't pay any mind believe my size chart hurt me a lot. That would get me. The idea of invisibility ZHSGSGHS. I was being ungrateful. The narcissist way out of a corner. I almost did the bare minimum. Now worship me. My family was living overseas, and this was the first time in our lives to spend the holidays away from relatives. My aunt sent us this big box during December. Naturally, we all assumed Christmas gifts. We opened the box and it was old clothes. Like really old clothes. Many of which wouldn't fit, were not washed, and some were items like socks and underwear. My aunt thought we wouldn't mind the hand-me-down from her own kids. They weren't even packed properly. It was just thrown in a box haphazardly. My mom was pissed for us. Threw the entire thing away, and still gives my aunt crap about it to this day. My divorced parents, independently, with no contact with each other, gave me a hair removal device, and an offer for laser hair removal, without ever talking to me about my body hair before. And in front of everybody, I've been made fun of for my dark body hair all my life, or dealt with people pointing out that I've missed a spot, so it especially was embarrassing when I never asked for either of those things. My dad always points out my chin hair. I'm a female. And he always makes the comment you need to get waxed in front of everyone. A pair of tweezers, a box of chocolates and Dr. Phil's ultimate weight loss guide for teens. Happy Valentine's Day 18 yo elusive. Chocolates yo. I had gone to college with a music scholarship, spent my entire life working to make it in a specific part of the music industry only because my adopted parents told me that was the only way I'd ever get to have a higher education. Forced myself to work in an art that I slowly started to hate because I was not in it for passion but because of a lie that was the only job I could ever have. I broke down and was not able to finish my education when I could have because the pressure killed my ability. After a long 2 years of me uprooting and redirecting my life, my birth father, who knew all of this, gave me an instrument and music and told me that I should start with this instrument that he wanted me to play. I never knew I could be so insulted by being given something. But the icing on the cake was he got angry when a year later I had to sell it because towels. While the gift itself doesn't sound bad, the reasoning behind it was incredibly insulting. I was 17 years old at the time and a senior in high school. It was a Christmas gift from my stepmother. She gave me a set of towels and told me I would need them when I moved out at 18. The kicker was she gave her son, my stepbrother, a brand new computer for Christmas. This was in 1992 when personal computers started around $4,000. I was pretty salty about it. Size 4XL pants from my aunt. As a 170-pound teenage girl, this crushed my spurt. I was only a size large but thought this was how they perceive how big I was. When I went through my kinda chubby phase around age 12, all the clothes I got were L when I was clearly still a small. My aunt got me a hoodie that still doesn't fit 4 years later, and I went through a massive growth spurt. A chair, except that it actually didn't exist. Here is the deal. We moved to yet another house. My mother decided to buy me a new chair, but it was some garbage. After a few minutes of leaning on the back, it basically dropped off the chair. It broke. My mother started to shout, "You were supposed to be sitting, not lying." Oh it. I kept telling her no big deal. If I'm not supposed to be leaning anyway, then I don't need this back. So why care about it? Didn't help. Then she said, "Okay, this was your birthday gift. Then I'll buy you a new one." The thing is, she bought the exactly same model. While I wasn't leaning, the back lasted a bit longer, but one day I was trying to reach something from the top shelf, so I stood on it, and I crashed down. Of course, the back again dropped off as soon as I hit it. My mother again started shouting that I broke the chair. My sisters were there, and one said that I could have killed or injured myself, and she thinks only about the chair. That helped. It's amazing how moronic people can be. Like the thought that it's simply a crappy freaking chair never crossed her mind. When I graduated college, my parents gave me a card to congratulate me. Inside the envelope, my never showed any real interest in my life father had included a fridge magnet, and this was not intended to be a joke. The fridge magnet said, "Life doesn't come with an instruction book. That's why we have fathers." This was given to me shortly after he had stormed out of my graduation ceremony early, because apparently he doesn't have time for this. I had still have no words for that gift. On Christmas Day 3 months before I turned 18, with my half-brother visiting, I have only gotten to spend time with him a few times, I saw there was a huge present beside the tree. Like it was a good 5 feet tall. It had my name on it and I was super excited. We saved it for last. It was all the stuff my father confiscated from me over the years. Video games, movies, clothes, work uniforms, homework, school books, and a lot more. My huge Christmas gift was all of the stuff he stole from me. My father wanted the house to be neat, so he would confiscate anything that was not hidden in some way. Homework on a desk, Confiscated. Movie case on the DVD player? Confiscated. Work uniform laid out on the bed so you can change quickly after school? Confiscated. I don't think I came out of my room for 2 days after that happened because I was so pee off and embarrassed. I moved out the day I turned 18 and it was one of the many reasons why. I got no birthday present from my ex. For context, her birthday was about 2 weeks before mine and I spent at least $50 on gifts and almost $100 on dinner. It isn't about the money, but I did put a lot of thought into both the presents and where we went for dinner. Then any time after the fact when I brought up that she still hadn't gotten me a present, she would cry and make excuses and make me feel bad. No, I did not break up with her because she never got me a birthday present, but it was contributing factor and symptomatic of larger problems she had. My husband's stepmom bought me a sweater made of Angora and it was an extra small. First, I'm a medium and second, I was a vet tech at the time and she gave me a sweater made of animal fur. Oh yeah, and I'm allergic to rabbit fur. She was aware of all of this. She also bought me a butter bell knowing I don't eat butter because I'm lactose intolerant. She's the worst gift giver, at least to me. Everyone else gets crap they like. You should buy her self-help books on how to be a better person. I'm still bitter about this, but like 7 years ago, we were doing Secret Santa at work and my Secret Santa gave me used tissues. I was so disgusted that I ranted to my other colleagues and my Secret Santa told them that they weren't used but just ripped out of the packaging. My grandma has never liked me for some reason, so last month when she came from Poland to visit she showered my siblings, too, with gifts. They each got $40 and really cool antique soldier statuettes while I got a bookmark and a XL top. I am not a XL, I'm a small, which really hurts since she always has called me fat to my face. I just don't understand why she didn't give all of us the same gift and it felt like she deliberately did that just to show her disliking towards me. That's what it sounds like, weirdo grandma. Not so much the gift, but the way it was given. When I was going through my divorce, I went home for Christmas. My aunt gave me a pair of pajamas, which I tried on and found a couple sizes too small. I went to my aunt and told her the pajamas were nice, but unfortunately too small. Usually when we buy the wrong size, my relatives and I are more than happy to return or exchange. Well, you'll have to lose weight, my aunt said to me. She'd bought them on clearance in January and couldn't take them back. And instead of saying, you know, oh, shoot, I'm sorry about that or literally anything a normal person might say, she tells my sad pathetic divorcee butt that I have to lose weight. I told my mom, and she bought the pajamas from me. Good mom. Will probably get buried, but 7-year-old me was super in love with foxes. I made little clay models of fox families, had soft toys, drew pictures, etc. My grandma, knowing this, gave me a fox fur coat. It even had little fox tails hanging off it. Gracious little me thanked her with a trembling lip, then went home and sobbed. I remember hugging it as if I could bring it back to life but also being revolted by it. I handed it to mum and told her to burn it. Cried over that for days. YIA meant well, but man did the intention get corrupted somewhere. She bought me a plush toy fennec fox years later and kinda made up for it. My aunt and uncle once gave my little sister a Tiffany & Company heart pendant and gave me a cheap necklace from Claire's. They spent $120 on her and $12 on me, as a nice little bonus. Hers was wrapped up all nicely and they hadn't even bothered to put mine in a bag. I pretended to be thankful so I wouldn't embarrass my parents, but I was pee. Other choice presents from them over the years include a pack of dollar store pens, a mood ring, and a knockoff Disney princess coloring book. One year they gave me a $25 iTunes gift card that I knew was too good to be true, and just like I expected, it was labeled $35 but they'd only put a few dollars on it. That was the present that convinced my parents to stop going to their holiday parties. Sounds like they found that GC somewhere in the house and gave it to you not knowing if there was or how much money was on it. For me, it was a year when my dad loaned me about $100 so I could buy small Christmas gifts for the rest of my family and my husband, because I was working part-time then and just wasn't going to be able to swing it on time. I promised him I would pay him back in full by New Year's, and in fact had already paid back about a third of it by Christmas. Come Christmas Day, he meets us at my mother's home to give us our gifts. My gift? A shittily typed up and clip art laden piece of paper announcing that his gift to me was not having to pay back the rest of the money. Meanwhile, my younger sister, who hates him and basically wants nothing to do with him, received a mountain of new books, video games, puzzles, and tickets to see Robin Williams perform live stand-up comedy. I actually lost my crap at him for that, and so did my mother, and tore up the paper. To this day, I will never forgive him for that blatant act of favoritism and cheapskate behavior. A book of social conversational tips from my aunt, as if I wasn't already super self-conscious about how awkward I am. My husband gave me plaid flannel pajama pants for Christmas. They were soft and cozy, but I held them up and realized they were size XL. I weighed like 100 pounds at the time. But I had just found out I was pregnant with our first son, and as soon as I saw the tag and then looked at him in horror, he explained, I thought these could be comfy for later, when you're more pregnant. Suru, not a horrible gift. Super sweet and thoughtful gift. My water broke while I was wearing them, or else I'd have kept them forever. That's so sweet and so funny, lol. At least he was thinking of your needs. A previous friend used to get me clothes a lot as gifts, but no matter how many times I told her my size, she'd get a size or two smaller. Then she'd say, don't worry, it's got stretch, and I'm there like, okay. My ex-boyfriend kept telling me he had a surprise gift for me when I got home from university. It was a vacuum, because you like cleaning so much. His words. Yeah, I love cleaning. Yup, I totally don't do it because it needs to be done, because I like to do it. Yeah, sorry. Also, he didn't get the gift for me. It was actually from his mom to him. He just played it off as a gift from him to me. Mill gave me a giant, frumpy black muumuu dress. 1. It was easily 5 sizes too big for me, and 2. Was clearly just something she had lying around and tossed it in a gift bag for me last minute. She then proceeded to hold it up to my body and go on about how it would be a perfect fit. An offer of tickets to fly out to see them, for everyone but my wife, whom my mom can't seem to be courteous to, in the wake of them being restricted to email text because my mom would say incredibly thoughtless, cruel, divisive things over Skype in front of our kids. But, you know, we're apparently the ones who didn't want to be family because we believe in boundaries. I'm sorry, if my mom acts like that towards my wife, then she can kiss me coming to visit. Goodbye. We come as a package deal now that we're married. My very religious ex-mother-in-law gave me a book on better parenting through Christ. A. I'm not at all religious and she knew it. B. It's rude and presumptuous to give someone a book on how to be a better parent. Give it back. She might learn something. Pretty much every Secret Santa I've ever been a part of. For one, a friend gave me a Loon Songs CD and a random paperback. I honestly think he just grabbed crap from his garage. Most recent was this year at work. We all had little worksheets with our favorite things we had enough of and stuff like that. Everyone got really creative and it was fun. My boss drew my name and apparently forgot, so she got me an iTunes gift card. I don't own any Apple products and she knows I hate them. Luckily she switched it for a Google Play one, so that was nice, I guess. I never knew what to get people for Secret Santas. I usually just give people candy. In middle school, we were supposed to do 2 smaller presents and then a larger one over a period of a few weeks. I gave her progressively larger chocolate bars. When I was 13, my grandmother on my father's side, whom I hadn't seen for 5 years, gave me a baby bag for Christmas with a note that said, if you're anything like your mother, this will come in handy. My same-aged stepsister got a practically see-through top 2 sizes too big with a similar note. In the end we swapped. She used the bag for babysitting and I used the top as an overtop. Fair to say we haven't seen her since. My dad got me Women's Axe deodorant for Christmas. I don't want anything fancy, but dang, at least put just a little bit of effort and thought into the gift. I'm not a woman. My ex-husband used to give me handwritten paper IOUs for presents, Christmas, birthdays. When I would try and redeem them, he would try and convince me I didn't want them. A newer version is coming out soon. I don't think you'll use it because it's hard to learn. His mother used to give me crappy presents too. She got me a toilet seat because she thought mine wasn't clean enough. Cookbooks cause you could learn something. Holidays were so special and enjoyable. I can't imagine why he's your excess. Backstory. Bullied a lot in HS. Not the most popular girl and a mix of being socially awkward and low self-esteem. Back off said bullying and isolation. Christmas holidays comes around. It's my fav holiday and time of the year and we were 2 days from the holiday break. Classmates are exchanging gifts. We have a mandatory one for the Secret Santa. Nothing really nice back, the gifts were at a low budget. Lots of chocolates and candies. Anyway, I asked a classmate who was giving out personal gifts as a joke if he got me a present. Said classmate was one of the few who didn't bully me. Was surprised that he said wait a minute and started rummaging in his bag. Even said hey, you didn't have to. Pulled out a packet of dental hygiene kit. Something you would buy from a dollar store type quality. It was a set of a really shoddy toothbrush and a tongue scraper. I was internally horrified and became super conscious. Was my breath that horrible? Do I have nasty teeth? I thanked him and he just shrugged and left me. I felt awful about my dental hygiene for majority of my life. Till now. I also avoided him a bit since back I felt that maybe I thought we were friends but reality we're not. HS sucks. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.